Okay, I believe we are live. Just give me a moment or two. I'm just making sure everything is working fine, and we'll get started. Okay. Okay. Good afternoon, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. I hope you are keeping well and safe. My name is Ozair, and in today's YouTube live stream, I'm going to be talking about how to calculate your return on ad spend, which is called the ROAS, and how to work out your maximum profitable cost per click. So these metrics are quite important because you just can't keep on um, bidding up to rank higher in the auction all the time, because you will not be profitable. But before I get started, just a couple of quick housekeeping things. If you are new and here for the first time and you haven't been on one of these live streams, then a very warm welcome to you. There is a chat box on the right hand side of your screen. If you have any questions, please put them in there, and I'll do my best to answer them for you before we switch this off. And if you are returning, you know the drill and the format. Fire away your comments and your questions, and I'll refer to them towards the end of the presentation. So let's get started, and I'm just gonna make sure that we are all good. The screen is working fine. Perfect. All right. So ROAS is a very critical and important metric when it comes to running your Google ads or any kind of paid advertising, be it Google, Facebook, LinkedIn, or online marketing. It doesn't matter what kind of ads they are, the process and the calculations are the same. ROAS means return on ad spend. So when you spend $1 or pound or whichever currency you're spending, how many are you getting back? If you are getting more than one, that means potentially your campaign is profitable. If you're getting less than one, then you are making a loss. But it really depends on your funnel and how your customer lifetime value is, because you may make a loss at the front end, but the back end is where the profit is, and I'm going to go through this in a bit more detail later on. Now, how much ROAS should you target for or aim for? You've got obviously as high as possible you want to go, but sometimes it's not feasible. There will be a limit as to how high you can achieve your return on ad spend. And in this table over here, which I've got on my screen, I'm going to show you how we do this. So I'm going to delete all of these so not to confuse you guys. All right. So we've got three columns: ROAS, 6x or 600% or 6 times. If you spend $1, you get 6 back. 3x, you spend 1, you get 3 back. And minimum 1x, which is 100%, and you putting in 1, you're getting back 1. I've got two types of campaigns here, branded as well as non-branded. So branded campaigns will always have a higher conversion rate, for sure. Every kind of brand campaign will have, and non-branded obviously will have a bit less. Now what you can do is, if you are running a campaign currently, you will have some kind of data in your account. So you can go into your account and don't just look at the last 1 week or 30 days. If you've been running for a good few months or maybe years, try and get a good data set of about 6 months or minimum 3 months and see what you are getting. First metric we look at is the average conversion value. So this is how much, when somebody makes a purchase on your website, how much are they spending on average? Is it 100, 200, and so on? From your online shopping cart, you will probably, well, we should know the number. Let's keep it simple. Let's say whenever somebody makes a purchase, our average order value is 100. Then what we want our ROAS to be, the desired ROAS. So we've got 3 columns here. One is for 6x, 3x, and 1x. So we're going to put in 6, 3, and 1. Now you can change these if you want. That's not a problem. And then you can work out your maximum profitable CPC bid. What bid is your maximum bid you can afford to give to Google or afford to pay Google to be profitable for your return on ad spend. From your data set, you will also have a conversion rate in your Google Ads account. What is your conversion rate? 3%, 5%, 10%, and so on. Now, on average, if you are brand new to this and you've never done this before, on average, a first-time visitor to any website selling products, i.e. an e-commerce website, will have an average of around 3% conversion rate. 3% if you're hitting, it's pretty good, and you can aim to improve upon it, but 3% is the average right across the board. For branded campaigns, I'm going to keep it a bit high and see what happens. So I'm going to keep it 10%. And now we've got these numbers over here for the maximum CPC bids which we can afford to pay Google. The formula for these is your conversion average conversion value, which is 100, divided by your desired ROAS, which is 6, and you times it by 10. So you get a maximum. So the maximum bid you can afford to pay to achieve a 6x ROAS is $1.67. For 3x is the same thing. You get 3.33. And for 1x it is $10. So this is where you will need to bid so you can achieve these profitable ROAS. Now if I were to take the same figures, 100 will be the same. Well, let's say keeping all the conversion values the same. Desired ROAS would be 6, 3, and 1. Non-branded will usually be less. and now our ROAS profitable CPC goes right down to 50 cents, $1, and $3. So what this is showing you is you can afford to bid really high if you are trying to break even. And as your return on ad spend goes up, you cannot go as high on your bidding as possible. And what that will do is for your campaigns to be, you may not be very competitive in your bidding, and you may lose out in the auction. So you need to have this fine balance of your maximum or your profitable ROAS and a very competitive bid. You can't have both. You'll never have both. And that's why most companies and most advertisers will aim or shoot for a very high ROAS, and they may not know how to calculate this way, and they'll keep on bidding, and unfortunately they're going to make a loss because they will never be able to hit these metrics for 600% or more. Now this is what most or many advertisers which I see when they come to me are doing. There is a big difference as to, if I were to copy this, all of it, and put them over here. So what most advertisers do is, I'm going to make this in a different color, is they are looking at just that first time transaction. Now, for most businesses, including ours, if we do a good job for our client, they are going to come back. So it's a recurring income or maybe a returning customer, right? A lot of the clients who we get for e-commerce, what they are working their ROAS on is just a one-time purchase. They don't think, or they don't take into account potentially some more purchases that same customer is going to make if they were to come back. So let's say this is what we call a customer lifetime value. Now, this does not mean that until the customer dies. It means that you need to look at it for a longer period of time, how long a customer stays with you. It could be 12 months, it could be 24 months. Most businesses, 12 months is good enough, on average 2 years. So let's rework these numbers on the basis of a customer lifetime value of potentially that same customer, he spends $100 and then comes back 4 times in the next 2 years. Yeah, because you will have remarketing campaigns, you will have email marketing, you will have social media, you'll have lots of things going on to get that customer back, because you paid that acquisition cost to Google or whichever platform you're advertising with. You don't want them to go away after just that first purchase. So what happens is, if keeping that average order value or conversion value the same, and keeping all the other metrics exactly the same, the conversion rate, etc., all we are doing is changing the conversion value, which is the customer lifetime value. Now if you've been running your business, and you know that on average we are getting 3 or 4 orders after the first order, you got to take that into account and not just work on the first time order. Now all of a sudden, look how competitive you are compared to that. Now, if your competitors can only afford to pay $1.67, whereas you can afford to pay $6.67 or $13.33 or $40 or all of these metrics, there is no way in the world your competitors can compete with you in the auction. Every time you're going to win, and your ads are going to show up way more times than your competitors. So this is why it is absolutely critical and important that you take into account your customer lifetime value and not just work on the first transaction. You will find a lot of these big companies, supermarkets, online stores, they will have special offers as loss leaders, because they know once they come to them, we are going to buy lots of other stuff. The same way in a supermarket, you will have some items like bread, milk. These supermarkets will probably sell at break even or just making a very minute profit margins on it, because they know when we go into the supermarket, we're not just going to pick those couple of items, we're going to buy lots of other stuff as well, where the profit margins are a lot higher. And that is why you need to do the same thing, is be able to work out your customer lifetime value right across the board, and then bid accordingly. And bidding high does not necessarily mean that Google is going to charge you this cost per click. It means that you are going to win that auction and you are only going to pay 1p or 1 cent or whichever currency you have, 1p more than the second best competitor or advertiser in that auction. So quite often you will find that you are bidding $13.33, but Google is only charging you perhaps $4 or $5. It's because of that. I've got another video which I'll put the link in the description box as to how Google calculates that ad rank. And this is how easy it is to work out. Just by doing a little bit of homework, you'll be able to take your campaigns from here to up there and get your ROAS to the maximum amount you want to run to, and also be able to scale, because the name of this game is whoever is able and willing to pay the most to acquire a lead or a customer wins. That's it. You can't afford to pay the most, you are not going to win in this game. As simple as that. So keeping these numbers very clearly in your mind, as well as on paper or in a spreadsheet, you'll be able to work out your bids and what you need to do. So I hope you enjoyed this little video. If you are viewing this as a recording, then please do subscribe and hit the bell notification button, and you'll be notified of every time we upload a video, which we do upload fairly regularly. I also go live every weekday at 5 o'clock UK time, and if you have any questions, you can either ping it to me through our website or ask them during these sessions. So till tomorrow, thank you for watching this video, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Bye for now.